Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to stand today to brief this esteemed House on Fiji's first national water sector strategy. I officially launched the Water Sector 2050 strategy earlier this month in the presence of all our major development partners. Before I delve into the document, I would like to stress on the profound significance of the Water Sector 2050 strategy as the roadmap for climate resilient and equitable water and sanitation service provision for all Fijians. Mr. Speaker, Water Sector 2050 highlights the coalition government's robust commitment to address water and sanitation issues that continue to affect so many of our citizens. As I stand here, I note the difference between 16 years of previous government versus just 16 months of this coalition government. In 16 years, Mr. Speaker, under the rule of those opposite, our water sector endured sheer neglect. They had no plan, and at worst, they continued to reduce the water authority's much-needed capital budget. In just 16 months, this government has worked with all segments of Fijian society, with our development partners, with a renewed focus to restore water sector. The Water Sector 2050 strategy is our plan to deliver on that vision. So, soon after my appointment as the Minister of Public Works, I was briefed by the Water Authority's executive team on the state of water infrastructure the coalition government inherited from the previous government. It was obvious to me at that very moment that we cannot get out of the mess that we have inherited by doing more of the same and keep on doing more of the same as the FijiFirst Govt, which was the ad hoc reactive strategy. As of the first task, we appointed a skills-based board with right experience and qualifications to lead the Water Authority of Fiji. I tasked the new board and the executive to urgently develop a strategic action plan to improve water and sanitation for all Fijians. I must commend the Water Authority of Fiji Chairman Ratu Samanatha for his leadership in making the Water Sector 2050 strategy a reality. I would like to quote the Honourable Prime Minister included in the water strategy's forward. This plan is more than just a blueprint for development. It is a promise to prioritize the well-being of our people. It is a call to action for collaboration and cooperation across sectors and communities. Significantly, the coalition government is not planning for its survival in 4 years, but is planning for the next 3 decades, irrespective of who is in government. We are not here for political survival, but we are here for the people. Mr. Speaker, collaboration and cooperation has been the hallmark of process that the Water Authority followed in developing the strategy. This included consultation with major development partners through an ideation workshop which kick-started the journey. The workshop formed the basis for the national debate during the National Economic Summit in April 2023. This was followed with consultation workshops in Suva, Nandi Lambasa, reaching out to WEF customers and all stakeholders. The strategy outlines Fiji's water sector priority projects and programs over the next 3 decades, aimed at transforming how services are delivered, responding to climate vulnerability, renewing our aging water and wastewater infrastructure, contributing to the circular economy, and enhancing the national environment. So with the support from our key development partners such as UNDP, World Bank and Asian Development Bank, Water Authority was able to carry out extensive research, rigorous stakeholder consultation, and obtain innovative expert insights. It is therefore a direct product of the first ever collective planning exercise that united stakeholders from the public sector, private sector, tourism, NGOs, academia, development partners, as well as citizens. The document is just not a list of priority projects and investments. It is a shared vision for water and sanitation in Fiji. I would like to seek the indulgence of the House as I highlight some key investment priorities in the Water Sector 2050 strategy. It identifies that $3.5 billion is required over the next 3 decades to improve the water infrastructure. Half of this investment is earmarked for improving asset health. In other words, $1.75 billion is needed to renew Fiji's new water infrastructure assets that now need replacements as they are nearing the end of their life. I would like to reiterate again in this August House a direct result of 16 years of underinvestment is resulting in current disruptions and inefficiencies. Just in the long weekend, Easter weekend, we experienced a double whammy of climate change and aging infrastructure. As honourable members are aware, continuous heavy rainfall caused a landslide rupturing the bulk water pipeline to Tamavua. It resulted in thousands of citizens with no access to water. Such impacts of climate change now regularly affect our provision of reliable drinking water. It is exactly why the strategy identifies critical water assets that now need to be upgraded with robust, climate-resilient design. I've previously informed the House in my earlier water updates that our water supply system currently loses around 47% of the total clean water produced. Nationally, a water authority team is responding to over 125 pipe leak breaks for every 100 kilometers of water pipelines. I would like to point out that those sitting opposite, that water assets are not magic pudding. They need maintenance, they need renewal. Therefore, the Water Sector 2050 strategy calls for significant, urgent investments. So the strategy adopts a hub and spoke model for extending pipe water supply to areas currently not serviced by WEF. This model will rely on investing in building water treatment plants in larger population centers, creating water treatment hubs, water catchments, and reservoirs. As population in the adjoining areas would grow, pipelines will be extended to connect the hubs. Some of the key identified projects moving forward: water treatment hubs in Lambasa, Sianganga in the north, extension from Sabo number 1 water treatment hubs to other population centers in the west, hubs in Matovo, Keyasin, and Darivatu, and extension of networks from areas around Nadi. In the central division, hubs in Wainandoi and Nabo with extension networks in surrounding areas, and of course, additional reservoirs in strategic locations as mentioned. So we now let me focus on wastewater and sanitation aspects of the strategy. This requires or identifies a dire need of 5 billion in investments, including infrastructure and management. So the complete and utter neglect of wastewater over the last 16 years is nowhere more obvious than in the wastewater infrastructure. The previous government developed Fiji's National Development Plan 2017-36, and this plan promised that they would ensure improved sanitation, promising 78% of the population will have access to centralized sewage systems by 2036. So as of today, only 17% of urban residential customers have access to sewage sanitation infrastructure. A staggering 78% of residents rely on septic systems. However, Fiji currently has no infrastructure in place to receive and treat septic facial sludge from these systems. The current state of wastewater infrastructure suggests that while the previous government had developed a national development plan, they were not serious about investing in wastewater infrastructure. Water authorities, 11 out of 11 wastewater treatment plants do not have the capacity to effectively treat wastewater they receive. They are well over capacity. One of the strategic pillars underpinning the Water Sector 2050 strategy is environment and tourism nexus. Sustainable tourism development is heavily dependent on healthy and pristine rivers and pristine rivers and beaches. The wastewater services need to be urgently upgraded to ensure healthy rivers and beaches into which treated effluent is often discussed. Collaboration with our development partners is critical to develop the urgent upgrade of water authorities' aging wastewater infrastructure to ensure environmental compliance. On that front, Mr. Speaker, sir, the wastewater sector strategy identifies upgrade works to the Kinoa wastewater treatment plant as #1 priority, and further discussions and progress is being made with our development partners. So the Water Sector 2050 strategy has given the current coalition government or those who would come after us. Let me emphasize, coming after us, it doesn't have to be us, so we are forward-looking and not for our political survival, with a structured roadmap to implement. To develop vision of this strategy, we need to work together and look beyond one-term parliamentary politics. Water infrastructure, by definition, requires long-term thinking, and I urge the honourable members on both sides to familiarize with themselves with this document and committing for us to work together to making it a reality. I'd like to end by noting that this coalition government has already made some tough decisions to shape the Fijian economy. The Water Sector 2050 strategy now provides us an opportunity to invest in this critical essential service with a significant multiply effect to strengthen the economy even further. A total investment need of 8.5 billion is indeed a sobering number. It is obvious that the entire amount cannot be afforded by public sector investment. Asset upgrades for climate resilience will be suitable for seeking climate finance, which is what we are pursuing at the moment. At the same time, public-private sector partnership opportunities, especially in wastewater, will be explored. Our development partners like the Asian Development Bank, European Investment Bank, and World Bank, who have been part of this Water Sector 2050 strategy, will also play a key role. Unlike our predecessors, this coalition government understands that infrastructure needs investment, and we will not shy away from making the tough decisions in moving forward. We also understand that a financially viable Fiji Water Authority of Fiji will be critical for delivering on water sector strategy. The financial model needs to be re-examined. There needs to be reduced dependency on public sector grants, which will give the Water Authority more autonomy and financial viability, which is something we envisage in the not too distant future. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, what's in the box? See.
It's so new and fresh!
Looks better, eh?
This is everything I could have ever wanted.
What you looking at? Oh yeah, you're gonna have to find out.